Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday to everyone out there. Welcome to the Chinmovers Podcast. As usual, I'll be your host, Chad, and back from his long holiday is Reed.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling, bud? You get some well-deserved rest?
Yeah. Got enough Thanksgiving supper to get me through the fall.
Put you in a little food coma.
Not that far. I never get that far.
No?
But it was darn near close.
Yeah?
I ate about 7/8 of a pumpkin pie.
7/8. I've crushed at least a full pie since Sunday.
No, this was one day.
The one sitting. That's impressive.
Over about 3 hours.
Cool Whip? You're a Cool Whip guy?
That's Cool Whip, yeah.
That's key. It's key to a good pumpkin pie.
Worth it, not worth it, though, in the end.
Yeah.
You guys stick to half a pie.
It can wreak havoc on your digestive system, if you will.
Yeah.
Turkey or ham? What'd you guys have?
Yeah, turkey.
Turkey? Okay.
Turkey, some mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are number one, I think.
Gravy?
No, I'm not much of a gravy man.
Wow. I love gravy.
I leave the gravy out of it.
You had Mary Brown's gravy before?
I don't know.
It's deadly.
Doubtful.
It's deadly. You'd like it. I love Mary Brown's. It's good. It's good. Getting cold out there, though. Or what?
Yeah, hopefully it stays away, but we'll see here. At least it's not snowing.
Next week we're supposed to have some decent weather, so hopefully that hangs around for a little while.
Yeah.
I know some guys out in Ontario, and I tell them every day past October 15th with no snow is a good day, and they just don't believe it because they don't get snow till December most years, right? So
around here Halloween's usually the turning point.
Yes, yeah. If we can get past Halloween with no snow,
that would be unreal.
Life's good.
Life's great.
Yeah. Last year was pretty nice, I think, for Halloween though.
Can't remember.
10 or 12, maybe.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Hopefully it's not canceled this year.
Here's hoping. We had 3 kids out here, I think. That was it. That came trick-or-treating. 3. So
I might just have to go buy myself a whole bunch of candy again. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah?
Just go buy a bunch of candy for myself. I might do it again.
Or you could dress up and go out and get free stuff.
Yeah.
Should shave the beard.
Once a guy turns 30, I think
trick-or-treating days are over.
Your dressing up days are over. I got away with it 2 years ago when I was 28.
You went trick-or-treating?
Well, I went to the bar dressed up.
Oh, okay.
And that was, we're on the borderline here if this is acceptable behavior or not.
So what'd you dress up as?
I can't tell you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think it's to each their own, and but yeah, I don't know if you'd want to go trick-or-treating at the age of 30.
No.
Unless it was with your own children, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, lots to get to, Reed. Lots and lots. You weren't here Monday, and that's okay. So we talked about, the Sunday games. That Chiefs or Browns Chargers game. Wow. Unreal. Bills Chiefs. Bills dominated. So yeah, that's about it. The baseball playoffs are rolling on, and so let's get into her. Probably the biggest story in sports right now, especially the NFL. John Gruden relieved of his duties yesterday, I believe Monday night. Monday night that came out. That there was years worth of emails incriminating John in, I guess, vulgar speech, I guess. We'll put it that way. We had touched on this story on Monday, and it was not much had come out about it yet. But it's it's a rough go. John's out. He's out of the Ring of Honor in Tampa. He's kind of paying the ultimate price here. Not that anything that he said was acceptable, but it's it's interesting. There's this Washington, because the FBI is actually investigating Washington, is why this whole thing came out. So there were 650,000 emails that supposedly they poured through, and the only one to get their head chopped off here has been Gruden. So we'll see. We'll see what else happens. Adam Schefter, in a little bit of trouble with this story as well. There's emails released about him, and now people are questioning his journalistic integrity. Story about the Redskins, when they were called the Redskins, Schefter sent it off to him before he published it and said, hey, what do we need to change here to, you edit it as you see fit. So now Shefty's under fire as well. So
I didn't hear anything about him yet.
Yeah, it's, I don't know if anything will come of that. It's nothing incriminating, I guess. I don't think anybody, but it should be no mystery that, Shefty's the number one guy in NFL sports reporting and the insider. Well, how do you get to that status? Well, you do these guys favors, right? And then they leak you information, and that's how you stay in the top of the heap. And that's exactly what he's done. So if anyone thinks he's the only guy doing it, you're crazy. So
well, the only fact is he's on TV almost every week, right? And on Monday or Sunday Countdown.
Yeah.
So he is a guy that people look to for some sort of concrete info.
Yeah, and not that his information's incorrect. It's just how does he go about getting it, right? Yeah. So,
but I think people only listen to so much of what he has to say all the time anyway.
Yeah, but But
he is one of the guys who, with the most credible of the bunch.
He's the guy. Yeah. He's your NFL insider, just like Woj is the insider of the NBA, right? Yeah. So, if you poured through Woj's email, I'm sure you would find something very similar, and I find it kind of ironic that they're calling Schefter's journalistic integrity into question when, I would argue the majority of the mainstream media has been compromised to some degree. So, Gruden out. Rich Bisaccia, new head coach of the Raiders, former special teams coordinator. We'll see. We'll see how this upsets the Raiders' balance, I guess, if you will. They came out hot, dropped 2 in a row, and they roll into, where are they this week?
They play Denver.
Oh, Denver goes to Vegas, or we don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. But yeah, they do play Denver, so obviously an important divisional game. They go to Denver, yes. Both teams 3-2. Winner of that game would be tied very briefly with the Chargers for top spot in that AFC West. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen with the Raiders? Do you think they're going to overcome this and move forward, or are they going to be rattled and this will upset the team's mantra, I guess, for lack of a better term?
I don't know. I can speak from prior experience where I was playing baseball one year and one of our coaches quit halfway through. Wasn't exactly the best thing for the team. That's just from my experience.
Yeah. So it kind of upset everything.
I don't know. I would think that most guys, I thought highly of John Gruden.
I think a lot of people did.
I think this caught lots of people by surprise, really.
Derek Carr's quote today, I love the man, but I hate the sin. So, from the sounds of it, Gruden was almost like a father to Derek Carr. As far as I know, he was building a house beside Derek Carr in Vegas. So they will continue to be neighbors as long as Gruden lives in Vegas. But, so we'll see what that does. It sounds like he had the respect of every guy in that locker room. Darren Waller was talking about him today, how much he respected him, and Gruden. I don't know, maybe most of us don't know the story of Darren Waller. He had substance abuse issues. I think was living in a car for a while and ended up getting the tight end job in Oakland or Las Vegas, and he's a star now. So I think he feels he owes a lot of that to Gruden, but Yeah, I don't know. Time will tell, Reed. Time will tell.
It's pro sports. I don't think. I don't know. Pro athletes have a job to do regardless of who the coach is. So,
That's true.
but I don't know. I can see it going either way. You can. I don't know. Depends on who like. I would guess most of the guys in the locker room probably like John Gruden.
Yeah, he's a football guy,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he's credible. He's walk the walk, talks the talk, right? So,
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I can't give you any concrete answers about the subject because I don't know how deep to dive into it. So
yeah.
maybe I think we gave our opinion. Maybe go into a little bit more when we have more info. Maybe, but
Yeah, and I mean, as far as opinions go, I guess I don't really have an opinion. I mean, going back to Monday's show, I said I don't believe John Gruden was a racist man. And I don't know the details of the extra emails that come out. But, I mean, teams are going to handle it how they're going to handle it, right? The NFL hypocrisy, I think, is what really gets to a lot of people. I mean, a lot of these guys that are on the field playing right now have domestic abuse charges and all this kind of stuff going on, and nobody bats an eye. And then all of a sudden this comes out, and everybody's calling for Gruden's head. So I think that's why you have two separate camps that feel pretty strongly about each side of their opinion, right? So, but regardless, Gruden out. Rich Bisaccia in. So we'll see what Rich can do. Apparently he knows all the guys fairly well. It should be a rather seamless transition, but we'll see how they play against Denver this weekend. Moving over to Juju Smith-Schuster, Pittsburgh Steelers. Done for the season. Shoulder surgery required. I didn't see the play in question that it happened on, but yeah, that's a big piece of the Steelers' offense. I mean, not that the Steelers have been great. They're coming off a win, but what does that mean for them going forward? Do they even have a shot at this AFC North?
what are the Steelers' record now?
2-3.
Is that what it is? 2-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Big Ben actually looked good last week. Thank God, because he was on the hot seat big time.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
was.
needed that game like crazy. So
And they won it rather handily.
yeah, they beat it. Yeah, they beat the Broncos down.
Yes. Yeah. 27-19, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. I'm sure it was.
The game was in hand pretty much the whole game.
Yeah, they controlled it. But back to the division, I mean, that's a tough division.
Yeah. You got the Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns.
Yes, sir.
That is tough. That might even be tougher than the NFC West now.
Those are your two best divisions in football for sure. I mean, no one could argue either. No one could change my mind of that. Those are two strong divisions. And Pittsburgh ruled the roost in that AFC North for a long time. And I think maybe that their time has come to pass the torch on. I mean, you're not going to go into Pittsburgh for the rest of the year and steamroll them. They're not a bad team. Ben hasn't been very good, but they're not a bad team. So
No, Najee's got to get going a little bit.
he played well
He did,
on
yeah.
Sunday, though. He went off for $122, I think.
Claypool finally had a good game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deontay's being Deontay.
He had a
He's
touchdown,
solid.
right? Yeah. He's
so.
consistent, right?
Juju's kind of fallen off the map there in Pittsburgh a little bit, so I don't know how big a deal this really is.
Yeah, well, I think it is, and I'll tell you why. Because when Juju got there, AB was the guy, right?
Yeah.
So AB's drawing your double coverages, the safety help, all this kind of stuff, and that opened up Juju, right?
Yeah.
So now Juju's the number one guy, which opens up Deontay, which opens up Claypool. So now who's your number one guy? Probably Claypool, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Deontay, it's going to open up Claypool. If it's Claypool, it'll open up Deontay, right? So that number one guy is always important, but I don't think Juju was good enough to carry a team like AB did. I don't think he ever will be good enough to carry a team like AB did. No. So Regardless, he's done for the year. So, fantasy owners, you're going to have to look elsewhere coming up here very soon. And our last side story, Reed, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, Kyrie Irving came out today. He will not play for the Brooklyn Nets until he's deemed eligible. Which
the
means,
general manager told him that, right?
Yes, yeah.
Which, in other terms, means until he's vaccinated.
That's exactly what it means.
He is not eligible to play.
At least one vaccination. That's the policy in New York, the state of New York. So,
yeah, if he's one of those guys who's very steadfast anti-vax, then I don't know.
Can the Nets win without him? Can they win a chip without him?
Well, they have Kevin Durant and James Harden together, so
yeah.
I don't know. Is there any better duo in the league? I don't think so.
Well, what about a better trio, though?
3 versus 2.
You got LeBron, AD, and Westbrook waiting for you.
That is true.
You know?
Yeah.
Arguably, Giannis and Middleton, they would give him a good run now, I think. Milwaukee doesn't really have a point guard. Not a good one.
Who do you think is the best two in the
yeah.
Lakers? LeBron and AD?
Yes. Yeah.
That rivals those two.
Yes.
I would still take Durant and Harden over those two, but
it's close.
But you add Westbrook in there, and you have to pick the Lakers over the Nets at the moment.
So, I mean, that's a season shifting move, if you ask me. Do I still like the Nets to come out of the East? Yeah, I do. But I mean, Harden's not getting any younger. Durant's not getting any younger. And I mean, let's be honest, they're a Durant or Harden injury away from being a 7th or 8th ranked team. They don't have a ton of depth.
Blake Griffin's still there.
Yeah, as far as I know. Aldridge went there.
Did he come back? Oh yeah, he retired and he came back.
Well, he was out for health reasons. Heart.
Yeah.
Something to do with his heart.
He is back though. I think.
Yeah, he's been cleared.
They have one other guy. Who am I forgetting?
Joe
Harris.
Yeah, Joe Harris. They gone.
There was one other guy. I forget. Maybe that was it.
So I mean, decent roster, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could make that argument with anyone that they're a so-and-so injury away from being not a very good team. But I think that one's going to hurt the Nets. But Kyrie's going to do what Kyrie wants to do. And
just depends if he wants to get paid this year.
Yeah, you got to respect his decision. So
probably doesn't need the money overly.
I would say probably not. He's made a lot of dough. 29 years old.
Yeah.
So.
And he's been in and out of the lineup the last 2 years anyway.
Yeah, he leaves when he wants. And
so, yeah.
He's healthy, he's not healthy. Kyrie needs time away. Kyrie's back. You know, he kind of wrote his own rule book. But yeah, the Nets come out today and said they won't offer him a contract extension at this point. I presume I don't know how many years he's got left on his deal, but
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see what Kyrie does. I have a feeling he's not going to play this year, but that's me. That's me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's there for a different reason. Usually the people are there for the money first and foremost, but the greatest players are there because they want to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
So Kyrie's won a title already, but so is Kevin Durant. He's won, 3 of them?
2 for sure.
2 or 3. Harden doesn't have one yet.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. How old's Kevin Durant? Is he 30 yet?
Oh, yeah. Durantula? Yeah, I think he's like 32.
Do you think he can get to Michael Jordan status?
No. Because he can't carry a team like MJ could.
That's what they'll always say about him, is that he had to join another super team.
Even LeBron could carry a team. I mean, look at some of those teams he was on in Cleveland. Yeah. They were horrible. And, you know, he'd take them to the playoffs, take them to the finals. You know, who'd he really have with him when he won that championship? Kyrie?
That one, yeah. The ones in Miami had some help.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that one was a big one for his career.
Yeah, and they were down 3-1 to Golden State in that final, and come back to win it, and I mean that really kind of cemented his legacy. But
I don't know if Durant can pull off a couple championships with only Harden. I don't know. I think if he gets to 5 titles, well, he's got lots of work to do before he gets to 5 titles. But if he could ever get to 5 titles, how could you not? Because LeBron has 4 now, right?
how many win in Miami? 2? One in Cleveland?
4. I think he has 4.
And one in LA? Yeah, he would have 4. Yeah.
And Durant's he's quite a bit younger than LeBron still.
5-6 years. Yeah.
So I think Kevin, I think he wants to.
But he'd have to rattle them off back to back to back to back, right? So I don't know. It seems like longevity is the name of the game these days. Tom Brady, LeBron James, these guys are playing well past what anyone used to really play, right? For length of time. So I don't know. We'll see.
No.
We'll see. I think it'll be a season change, a season altering move if Kyrie doesn't come back, but that's life. Okay, Reed, let's get into that Monday nighter, which I expected to be a bit of a snooze fest. It was anything but. Ravens Colts. Ravens take this one 31-25 in overtime, moving the Ravens up to 4-1 and dropping the Colts down to 1-4. Baltimore's 100-yard rush streak ended at 43 games. They broke it on this game. So that was over. But let's talk about the quarterback play in this game. Carson Wentz, out of nowhere, 25 of 35 for 402 and 2 touchdowns. When was the last time that dude threw for 400 yards? It's been a while. Jonathan Taylor, 15 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown, and 3 receptions for $116 and a touchdown. One of those came on a huge play, 60 or 70 yards. But the real story was Lamar Jackson, 37 of 43, 442 yards, a new career high for Lamar. 4 touchdowns, no picks. Mark Andrews, 11 receptions for $147 and 2 touchdowns. And Hollywood Brown, 9 receptions for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. I watched the bulk of this game. I kind of missed the first half a little bit, but when the Ravens were down 22-9 on our Monday show, I said I like the Ravens to win, but I don't like them to cover, and they were 7-point favorites. So they won, but they didn't cover. Yeah. But I honestly thought Indy was going to take this game. It was a hell of a comeback by Lamar Jackson.
It took forever for the Ravens to get going, but when they did, my God.
Yeah, you couldn't stop them.
No.
That's over an 80% completion rate for a guy that really isn't known for being a passer, right? So,
well, it was like they couldn't get anything going in the first half whatsoever. No. And then in the second half, it was like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl with the Falcons.
Yeah, well, it was very similar. Yeah, it was crazy.
Lamar did whatever he wanted to do in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
And Mark Andrews came out of nowhere, and he caught everything that was thrown his way.
That's got to be the best tight end performance of the year so far.
Caught a big 2-point conversion, too, at the end to tie it.
He had 2 2-point conversions in that game. That game made for some interesting fantasy. I know in our league, one of the matchups had Taylor and the other person had Andrews, so it was quite interesting. But the Ravens were down 22-9 heading into the fourth quarter, and they just come out and made the Colts look real bad in 15 minutes. So
big important what the Calais Campbell blocked a kick also.
Yes. Yeah.
How was that going again? Was it 25-17? They went to kick a field goal to put them up 11?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Was that what it was? I can't remember what it was.
I don't either, but yes, there was a block kick in this game.
And that would have sealed it. I think it was with 4 minutes left.
Proved to be huge.
That's what it was, I think. They were up 25-17, and they blocked the kick. The kick would have put them up 11 points.
Yeah. And the game was pretty much out of reach at that point.
And then blocked the kick. They go down, score a touchdown with a 2-pointer. Then the Ravens got the ball first in the overtime, right?
Yes.
And they proceeded to go down and score on the first possession.
Hollywood Brown, in overtime. looking at Lamar's performance, I mean, does he? It's so different week to week, but I mean, the Ravens are 4-1. Lamar coming off this performance, is he MVP worthy? Is he in the discussion? Is he
The
in
Ravens
the?
are 4-1 at the moment, right?
Yes, they are.
I'd say he's in this discussion for sure.
Yeah.
They give out MVPs each conference, right? Or is it just NFL?
No, just league MVP, and then obviously the Super Bowl MVP.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think he's number one yet.
He's top 5.
Yeah, he's top 5.
Top 3.
I don't know. I think Josh Allen's MVP right now.
Yeah.
Tom Brady up there also.
Yep. That Sunday night game, Bills over the Chiefs, I think cemented Allen's spot for the next little while anyway. That Buffalo team looks in control, well organized. Everybody's doing their job. The defense plays hard. Man,
Jordan Poyer kind of did Kelsey dirty. Do you see that hit?
No.
I don't know. I didn't like the one hit. Travis Kelsey went to go catch a ball, and Poyer basically headhunted him.
Before he got the ball. Yeah.
Knocked Kelsey out of the game. I didn't like that play.
Yeah, it's a little dirty.
Yeah, but maybe the reason why he did it. I don't know.
There could be some bad blood there. Who knows? But the Ravens also looking good in their own right. Well, they do and they don't, right? I mean, how do you get down 22-9 to the Colts? I mean, luckily they came back. But
Carson did look good, though, for the first time in a long time.
He only missed 10 passes.
No, he looked good.
That's, I mean, for a guy that, was on the junk heap already to start this season, he did look good. I'll give him that. 400 yards. I mean, that'll probably be his only 400-yard game of the season.
The only good thing about the Colts is that they have Houston in that division. Houston, Jacksonville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
What a gross division.
It's trash.
What Tennessee's 3-2, 4-1.
No, they're
3-2, I think.
2-3 or 3-2.
Tennessee's 3-2.
Yeah, they're 3-2. I think they're on a bye this week.
So really, the Colts aren't even in that bad of a spot, really.
Yeah, they're 3-2. They play Buffalo Monday night.
Yeah,
so they're about to be 3-3.
The Colts put a little streak up here.
Yeah, that
I don't see it happen. I don't know. I still think. Well, you gotta think Tennessee was gonna win a division no matter what. But if the Colts want to make the playoffs, they're gonna have to win the division.
Yes, yeah. And any team that loses to the Jets, I would have a hard time believing that they're gonna win their division. But it's possible. That division is bad. That's a bad division. But yeah, regardless, Ravens take that one, and they are in sole possession of first place of the AFC North as it sits right now. So, locks of the week, Reed. Mm-hmm. It's our Wednesday tradition. Let's do the locks of the week, shall we?
Should I go first this time?
Sure. Let's hear your lock.
All right.
Lead us off.
We're gonna get a soundboard for next show, so we can do sound effects and stuff.
Well, I don't know if it'll be the next show, but
for some time in the future.
Yeah, it's coming.
What's a good sound effect for the Dallas Cowboys? Maybe a spur or something.
Yeah, or a yeehaw, or
horses galloping.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe some guns shooting off. I don't know.
The Dallas Cowboys are my lock this week against the Patriots. Patriots haven't shown me that they can get it done against above average competition. So the Dallas Cowboys are riding high, and they're going to win the division this year, I think. So in order to win the division, you got to win some games. So this is a game I think they'll win.
They 4.5-point favorites. You like them to cover that one?
I'll even say they'll cover it.
Yeah.
They'll win by a touchdown.
That's your lock?
Yeah.
All right. My lock of the week should be fairly obvious if anyone watches football. The LA Rams over the New York Giants. Rams are 9.5-point favorites in this one, and considering the Giants pretty much lost their entire starting last game, I like the Rams to go into the Meadowlands or whatever, there's MetLife Stadium, go in there and pretty much kick the shit right out of the Giants. 9.5-point spread. They're going to win by 20.
Probably.
Yeah, the Giants are... Yeah, those injuries, Saquon, Tony will be back, but Daniel Jones playing this week? Do we know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Still in concussion protocol.
Yeah. Saquon not playing, I don't think.
No, that ankle didn't look very good. It was the size of a beach ball.
Kenny G also
Yes.
highly questionable. So.
Holiday, yeah. So it's not looking good. If you're a Giants fan, you thought it was ugly before. It's going to get worse. So, oh yeah. So you like the Cowboys?
Just friggin' Saquon Barkley just can't get any luck with his body.
No, I feel for the dude. I like Saquon, but he just, yeah, like you said, he can't stay healthy. Can't happen.
Nope.
So, upsets of the week. Go ahead, Reed. Lead us out.
The Washington football team. I think Washington will upset Kansas City this week.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow. That's really sticking your neck out there. Hey? I
Chiefs.
like that one. Chiefs are 7-point favorites as well.
Yeah.
What led you to this decision? I
Well,
like it. I
same
like
thing-
the risky plays.
Same thing you've been saying on shows before. Like, who wants the boring? I can give you my boring
Right.
pick.
The no-brainer
And
pick.
it's whatever. It's good and dandy.
Right.
but I don't know. Trying to add some pep and spunk to the show.
I like it.
So, yeah. And I don't actually think Washington will win. So,
Wow, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? I don't know if you heard about Stephen A. Smith. He went off on the Chiefs and pretty much come out and said they're done. He said the power has shifted. Buffalo's a powerhouse in the AFC, followed by the Chargers. The Chiefs' defense is so bad that they just can't win ball games, and time will tell. I don't think they're done, but they're gonna have a hard time, especially in that AFC West. So,
they need. Then the running back got hurt. Clyde the Glide.
yes, yeah, he's out.
He's out.
Supposedly, they've been looking at Marlon Mack from the Colts. So
saw that
there
too.
might be a
That's
trade
what-
being cooked up there. Marlon Mack actually looked good Monday night. He only had like 4 carries, but he ripped off like 60 yards. So I like Marlon Mack. I had him as a keeper one year, and he tore his ACL first game of the year. So, but that's a bold upset, but I like it.
Let's hear
like it.
upset, Chad.
My upset is the Chargers over the Ravens. Ravens are 2.5-point favorites in this one. Chargers are going into Baltimore, which is a tough place to win. Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers over the Ravens, and I think they're going to go in there and I think they'll beat them by 7.
Chargers looking very good right now.
Herbert's looked unreal.
Yeah, that team's coming together. Her defense, well, I don't know. They still let the Browns score 41 points against them last week, but the Browns are no joke, no slouch.
They are not. They are not.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I like the Chargers. I think they're going to beat the Ravens. So you can take that to the bank.
I'm like almost positive we're going to have a division this year where all 4 teams in one division make the playoffs.
Well, if you didn't catch up with our Monday show, we did some homework on that because you posed that question, I don't know, 10 days ago maybe, whether all 4 teams could make it from one division, and it is possible.
Yeah.
It is actually possible. I think if it's going to happen anywhere, obviously it's the NFC West, but now that Russell Wilson's out, it might not happen. But yeah, it is possible. So
Yep.
it happened in the NBA like in 2012, I think. So now granted their playoffs are different than the NFL's, but it is possible. So that would be that'd really be something.
It would be something.
I'd like to see it.
Because
But-
it is the 7 teams per division or
Yep.
per conference again.
Yeah. So that'll be good. Thursday night. Let's look ahead to our Thursday nighter, Reed.
That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. That is tomorrow night. Bucks Eagles. Bucks take their 4-1 record into what's Philly Stadium called?
Lincoln Financial
Lincoln
Field.
Financial. That's right. Lincoln Financial Field to play the 2 and 3 Eagles. Bucks 7-point favorites. Gronk's out. Already been ruled out.
That's 3 weeks in a row now.
That's 3. Yeah. Might be back next week, they said, but it's up in the air. So
You think that's an overly big deal?
no.
I don't think
I
it is
don't.
either.
I mean, it's just another weapon when he comes back, right? So But kind of going through the stats, the Eagles, they are a tough team to read, and I think they're a lot worse maybe than they are. If we look at offensive ranking, Bucks are third overall, total offense. Eagles are 14th, middle of the road. Defense, Bucks are 15th. Eagles are 9th, if you can imagine that. In the best passing team, or pass rankings, Bucks are number 1. Eagles are 12th, and rush, Bucks are 26th, and the Eagles are 13th. So they're a very middle-of-the-road team, and, in terms of their complete game. What can we expect, I guess, from the Eagles in this one? They're kind of hard to read, and you're a little bit more of an Eagles guy than I am. So,
yeah, I did some research like you did. I was looking at who has the best run defense, worst pass defense, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the Eagles have the second worst rushing defense in the NFL. So, but the only thing why I don't think it's a big deal tomorrow is that the Bucks aren't running the ball overly well right now.
No, they don't run it a lot.
Tom Brady's doing the damage in Tampa Bay, so I think Fournette's gone. He's done okay when he's been needed, but the Buccaneers are a throw-first football team.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know how the Eagles even come close in this game though. They did beat Carolina last week, but I don't know if anyone in their right mind can think the Eagles can actually win tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows what you're getting with Carolina now, right? They come out 3-0, now they're 3-2, and look very average doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't put a lot of stock into. I was a big Carolina believer, and it's not looking good.
This is a big game for Jalen Hurts, though.
Yeah, if he can at least keep it close, I think.
I'm on the fence about Jalen Hurts. He's more of I don't know. I like the traditional throw quarterback who doesn't have to run a whole lot, and Hurts likes to run too much for my liking. But
that O-line in Philly is bad too.
Yeah, but the mobile quarterback, it's here to stay.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. If Jalen could come out, have a solid game, and somehow win this game, I think he's cemented his place as the quarterback for Philly.
Yeah, I mean, there's been discussion that Philly's interested in Deshaun Watson, right? So that's got to be in the back of Jalen's mind every week.
But that's just what it is in the NFL, though. Your job is never secure.
Never, no.
So it's just
unless you're
it's just what it is.
Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers to a degree. But you think the Bucks are going to go in there and easily handle them?
It is in Philly too, isn't it?
It is.
I forgot about that fact.
Yeah.
I still like Tampa to win, of course.
Oh,
but
absolutely. Yeah.
It'll be a good game to watch, though.
I think Tom will pick that secondary apart pretty easily. They are fresh off a 3 interception performance against the Panthers, but yeah, like I said, you never know what you're getting with the Panthers. They're starting to piss me off. Can't trust them.
Yeah.
But such is life. Let's dive into a few Sunday games, kind of our games that I think will be maybe not so important, but Dolphins Jags headed to London.
There's another London game.
Yeah, Dolphins 1-4, Jags 0-5. Tua's back at practice supposedly. I don't think he'll be starting this weekend or anything like that. I think Brissett will get the start again. But there might be something to your theory about the worst teams in the league having to go to London, because these are 2 bad football teams. Dolphins 3.5-point favorites. Who do you like in that one, Reed?
I don't know. Conversation killer. I don't know.
I don't know. Classic Reed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Dolphins are so bad right now. They're in the top 5 worst rushing yards on offense and top 5 passing yards.
Worst.
Yeah, they're in the bottom 5 in rushing and passing. So it's not a good recipe.
That's not a recipe for success.
No.
You need to be able to do at least one of the 2.
The only bright side, Myles Gaskin's looking okay.
Where do the Jags fit on that spectrum? Did you look at their rankings?
They're not in the top, not in the worst 5.
James Robinson's been actually having a decent year. I think he's the 4th. He has the 4th most yards out of all running backs. So
Robinson.
Yeah, he looked good last week, but
I don't know. That's the ultimate toss-up. I would stay away from that one in your survival pool.
yeah, I wouldn't touch it either. Dolphins at 3.5.
Speaking of survival pool, I'm out.
Who'd you take?
The Raiders. I know.
Damn it! And they were super disappointing.
Yeah, I watched that game. It was not much happened.
It was a snooze fest. Yeah. Awful football.
Surprising, Josh Jacobs didn't do much. I think he did run for touchdown, but Derek Carr didn't do what he needed to do.
Did he even have 200 yards? Like it was just neither side of the ball showed up for the Raiders against the Bears.
No, that happens though once in a while.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
They could have really used that game though, because the Chargers, they win this weekend, and let's say the Raiders lose. Oh boy, now they're 2 games back, and the Chargers, they look good. But if I had to take anyone in this game, I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think they're going to beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from it.
What if you have?
I'll take Jacksonville.
You'll take the Jags.
Yeah, Jags get their first win of the year.
Okay. Chiefs Washington. You're upset of the week. Both teams 2-3. Chiefs are going into Washington. As crazy as that upset might sound, I think Washington, if that defense clicks this weekend, they could beat the Chiefs. I'm not convinced the Chiefs. Yeah, they're not the Chiefs of last year even.
No.
Every team goes in there now thinking they have a shot, right? And we talked about it Monday, how they ran cover 2 to contain Tyreek, because that's how the Chiefs feast, right? They get out to those early leads with big plays to Tyreek all the time, even big plays to Kelsey.
Yeah.
And that's what blows games open. And then teams are chasing them all night, and you make mistakes. You throw interceptions, the quarterback holds it a little longer so his receiver can get further downfield, and that starts to cost teams after a while. So that's going to be the blueprint going forward for everyone playing against the Chiefs. So the Chiefs better either pick up their run game or design kind of a West Coast offense where everything's underneath and pick, maybe they won't put up 40 every week. Maybe they're going to have to win a 21-17 game, but I don't think their defense is good enough to do that. So it'll be interesting. I like that upset of the week. Rams, Giants. This one should be a no-brainer. Rams 9.5-point favorites. We kind of talked about how the Giants lost their whole starting O on Sunday. Rams looking good. I can't see much of a storyline here. Rams are going to take that one. I'm pretty confident in that. Cincy Lions. Cincy 3-2. Heartbreaker last week to Green Bay. Lions 0-5. Cincy going to Detroit. And they are 3-point favorites. Dan Campbell, coach of the Lions, crying at the podium last week about that loss. I don't know if you've seen that.
He cried?
He's pretty shook up about it.
I didn't see that.
Devastated.
What happened? Who did the Lions lose to last week?
Baltimore. 19-17 on that last, or Washington, or Minnesota, sorry.
Oh yeah, back-to-back heartbreaker field goals.
Yeah, he was pretty rattled. Sad for his guys, right?
I think all expectations in Detroit are officially void.
I think they have been for the past decade. Yeah,
they're not going to make the playoffs this year, so
no.
I don't know what kind of contract does Jared Goff have? Do you know?
I don't.
Did they re-sign him to a new deal when they traded him?
I don't think so.
He has his same contract.
Yeah, so he probably have 2 years.
I'll have to look that up, but the thing is, they'll probably keep Goff there for a little bit because he's still young.
And he's not having a horrible season, but it's the same problem that he was having in LA, is he can't get over that hump to get you to the win, right? So, you're gauged by one thing in the NFL, and that's wins and losses. So, I think they'll keep him another year too. I honestly do. But Stafford had some pretty shitty years there, and they kept him around a long, long time. So
they just don't have anywhere else to turn.
No. And who wants to live in Detroit? I wouldn't.
I'll say Cincinnati wins this game just because I can't give you a good reason why Detroit should win.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and 3-point spread. I think it'll be another close game. Detroit's hungry for a win, but we'll see. And Cowboys Pats. Cowboys only 4.5-point favorites in this one. They go into Gillette. They're 4-1. Pats are 2-3. Pats lost pretty much their entire O-line. They're down 4 starters on that O-line, so the Cowboys should feast. But I think it's going to be a closer game than you think it is. Belichick always knows how to craft up a defense.
I was looking at Tom Brady's stats today, and he has 30 fantasy Toms. They've played 5 games so far. He scored 30-plus fantasy points against every other team, but when they played the Patriots, he only scored 11.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the Bills' effect on the defense is real.
For sure, but then, I mean...
But that's only defense.
To play devil's advocate, Davis Mills goes for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks last week. Yeah. So, I mean, if you can figure out this NFL season, then you could be a rich man. But I'm having difficulty getting a bead on things here, Reed. Everything's so up and down, and I guess that's why people love it. That is the NFL. Nothing's a for sure. It's any given Sunday, right? Hence the saying.
Hence the movie. Is that a movie name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Al Pacino.
Is Denzel in that one?
No, I don't think so. Al Pacino was the coach.
Al Pacino?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
What?
No.
Oh my God. I think Jamie Foxx maybe is in
I'm
that
a
movie.
big Al fan. I've seen several of Al's pictures. Except for this one.
I'm very familiar with Mr. Pacino's work. I'm
very familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure he's the coach in that show. I haven't seen the movie forever, but yeah, it's a real roller coaster this year. Very interesting.
As per usual.
Yeah, nothing's a for sure in the NFL.
No.
So,
I don't know. Should we get to some baseball?
Yeah. Enough football. We'll touch on the rest of the NFL games and obviously our booms and busts on Friday. But let's slide over to the MLB playoffs, Reed. I've been losing money like a bastard betting on these playoffs. Let's start with the AL. Red Sox defeat the mighty Tampa Bay Rays 3-1 in that series.
Quite handily.
Yeah, not even a challenge.
No.
And Houston defeats the Chicago White Sox also quite handily. So they will face off in the ALCS. Predictions on this one, Reed. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I know who I like in the ALCS, but I want to hear your thoughts.
2 very similar teams.
Big bats.
Yeah, they can hurt you with the bat. Pitching, I would give the edge to the Astros probably. Pitching.
Who's their ace?
They got McCullers in there. Forget who else. I think Verlander's out for the year, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think McCullers is the best starting. No, Chris Sale or McCullers.
Yeah, Sale's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think? Who's going to take it?
I don't know, dude. That's a big toss-up.
I like Houston just for the simple fact of how quick they dispatched the White Sox. They just crushed them.
Yeah.
In the games that they won. It wasn't even close. I did bet the White Sox to win that first game back at Comiskey, and they did win. But they were never they were never in that series. They just got, you could just tell who the better club was right out of the gate. So
I don't know, I'll go I don't know.
I'm taking Houston. Houston in 5. I'm going to take Houston in 5.
They go to 7 now, isn't it?
Sorry, yes. Houston in 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go Red Sox in 6.
Red Sox in 6.
I thought the Astros had a better edge in the pitching rotation, but I still think Chris Sale's the best guy. So I'll go Red Sox.
Schwarber been red hot in that series too.
Raffy Devers is hot. JD Martinez hit a homer, big homer. That Red Sox lineup is good enough to get to the finals, I think.
Arguably the best player in the playoffs thus far, though, Jacques Peterson.
Yeah.
Pinch hit. I think he's hit 2 or 3 pinch hit home runs now.
That's our segue into the National League.
Yes. Jacques-tober.
Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques-tober. Yeah, Atlanta defeating Milwaukee, dispatching them in 4 games as well. So they're sitting back waiting for Game 5 to happen, which happens tomorrow. Back in San Fran. That series obviously 2-2. Yeah. I think you like the Dodgers in this one, but I just want to be sure before I put words in your mouth.
Let me look at the pitchers here.
Okay. Just to go back to Houston for a second, I think a lot of people find this interesting if you haven't heard about this. So, Mattress Mac. Do you know who Mattress Mac is? No. He's some old dude from, I think he's from Texas. Anyway, famous for his gambling. In June, he put $2 million on the Astros to win the World Series. If they win the World Series, he will win $22 million. And that'll be the single largest payout on a sporting event ever in the United States history.
$20 million?
$22 million.
A lot of money.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Logan Webb versus Julio Urias.
Well, Urias has been okay. Hey?
Yeah, he has. He's been really good. I don't even know who Logan Webb is.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever heard of this guy.
I don't know, that Giants lineup, I don't know.
They've been surprising.
It's not as deep, but they've got a good 3, 4, 5 there.
They don't make many mistakes either, right?
No, and it's one baseball game.
Anything can happen.
Dodgers shouldn't have let it get this far, really, but they did. So
well, they were playing catch up, right? So
I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants would. Dodgers are the favorite for a reason.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with the Dodgers.
I like the Dodgers too, even though they're back in San Fran. San Fran's a team that it's hard to give them the respect maybe they deserve, but like you, I like the Dodgers lineup, and Urias has been good. Yeah. But I mean, any ace can get lit up, right? So, like a Garrett Cole. So
I would suggest sitting down and watching this game tomorrow. It'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be edge of your seat. It's West Coast, so everyone will be home from work, had supper already, and pit in and watch this one because I think it's going to be a dandy.
And then the winner gets the Braves.
The winner gets the Braves.
Braves looking good, but I don't know how they get stacked up with the Dodgers. Or
Freddie
the Giants.
Freeman looking real good. Hey?
Yeah.
He's a stud.
7-game series, though. I don't know how they stack up with either of these teams, but they're going to have to try regardless.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the beauty of October baseball. You just don't know, right?
Yeah.
And there could be, there will be a new hero in that series. And, it's when history is made, Reed. And that's the best part about it. So, not much to report on NBA-wise, Reed. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, we already touched on a couple things.
The Mavs won 124-59 today, though, in a preseason game. They beat the Hornets, which, preseason or not, that's embarrassing. Lost by almost 70 points. So, that was interesting. NHL. Let's slide over to a little bit of NHL. 3 Canadian teams opening up tonight. Montreal, Toronto. Mitch Marner will play in that one. They might almost be done. They obviously East game. They start early, but Marner was in the lineup. He was questionable due to a collision at practice, but it wasn't anything too serious supposedly. So he is playing, and Toronto did win that game 2-1. Beating the Habs. So I know there's a lot of Leaf fans out there, so maybe I don't think the Leafs are going to do anything again this year, but they refuse to address their defensive woes, kind of like the Oilers. So I don't know.
There are lots of Leaf fans in this town, so
there's so many.
Yeah, so I can't give you my honest opinion.
Go ahead, piss a few of them off and say the Leafs suck.
Because just for my own security. I better not say anything.
You think somebody's gonna hunt you down or what?
Never. Same. Leafs and the Bruins. Don't talk bad. I'm not gonna talk. There are so many Bruins fans around too.
Original 6 teams, right?
Bruins and Leafs. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, or else I'll hear about it tomorrow from
somebody. The Leafs
somebody.
are trash. Boston's trash.
Yeah.
Boston's pretty good, but nobody can choke like the Leafs. Nobody.
I get behind the Oilers train and I'm good to go.
Oilers did open up today against my beloved Vancouver Canucks. Edmonton up currently 1-0 on the Canucks about halfway through the second period. And Winnipeg playing Anaheim. They just started the second period. Jets are down 2-0. Looking at the Canadian teams, I mean, I'd say arguably Winnipeg has the best chance to win the Cup this year, looking at their roster.
Of all the Canadian teams?
Yeah. They're a lot of people's favorites this year.
I can't disagree with you.
Scheifele will be back here in 2 games, I think. He's finishing serving out his suspension from last season. Yeah, I mean, I guess they have as good a chance as anyone. It's so early, it's hard to tell, right? But if there's one thing I do know, it's Edmonton will choke down the stretch, and the Leafs will choke in the first round of the playoffs. And the Canucks won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't give you any concrete NHL opinions that I haven't looked too deep into rosters or anything. So, but yeah, I think I'm with you. Winnipeg's probably talent-wise, they're
pretty deep.
They are up there.
They are deep.
Edmonton possibly a close number 2.
You would think, Reed, but when does that team start doing something other than underperforming? They arguably have the 2 best players in the world in Draisaitl and McDavid. And these guys can't make the playoffs? Like, come on.
Did they make the playoffs last? They got swept in the first round, didn't they?
By who?
Winnipeg swept them first round last year.
Oh, did they? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they did make the playoffs, yes.
Which, I don't know, if you don't win in the playoffs, that's technically not making the playoffs.
Well, you're in the same spot you were if you wouldn't have made the playoffs. So,
I guess technically you did make the playoffs. So
but
the playoffs,
you get swept first round. I mean,
that was a tough one to take. Yeah.
Winnipeg's good, but they shouldn't be able to hammer on the Oilers like that. And I'll go back to the argument I just presented, is that Edmonton and Toronto refuse to address the problems in the net and on the defensive side of the game. And Edmonton, man, they just love drafting small centers. And, you know, it's like 5 or 6 years in a row with their first round pick, first overall, they take a small center. It's like, okay, how many more small centers do we need? And that might make sense if you're willing to at least trade some of them for some good defensemen in return, right?
Yeah. Ethan Bear is out of Edmonton.
He is, yeah.
He's in Carolina, I believe.
Run him out, yeah.
Not sure why, but whatever.
He wasn't that good, honestly.
Yeah, he made a bit of an impact in Edmonton, but maybe that was more of a... Usually somebody at Edmonton kind of...
Well,
there's a new guy every year who you kind of get behind, and he's a good story.
Is he an Alberta boy?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he's from Alberta. So I think that's why he got the exposure he did. Not that he's a bad player, but he's not a stud.
Yeah. We'll have a new guy next year who gets the...
Yeah, exactly.
The new guy torch.
He's a 6'7" D-man on really any team. Which, I mean, is better than what I can do, so... Good on you, Ethan Bear. But and the Caps blew out the Rangers tonight, also 5-1. So.
Has there been any news on what the requirements are to get into Rogers Arena?
Full capacity is what they're saying.
I think you got to wear a mask to get in, and once you sit down, you can take it off.
Don't know.
I think that's what I heard.
Don't know the policy on that.
I would think that if this mask thing is back to somewhat full effect, so
yeah, more than somewhat full effect.
I'm guessing if you want to go watch a hockey game, you're gonna have a mask with you.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let you in to Rogers Center. You're talking Edmonton.
Yeah,
I'm sure that you need a Vax passport to get in there.
Oh, that too.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. So, regardless, yeah, we'll see what happens in this Oilers-Canucks game. Well, Reed, I want to flip over to the Wheatland quick, and then we'll call it a show. How's that sound?
Yeah. If I'm correct, that league you're in the home stretch.
This is our final week of the regular season. You're right.
Wow.
You're right. Raiders off to Bonnyville this weekend. Bonnyville 0-4, Raiders 4-0. Bonnyville having a tough season. Could be an ugly one. Comp goes to Wainwright, which I think the Comp will dispatch them rather easily as well. And St. Paul goes to Cold Lake. That could be a little closer game.
I haven't watched a single Wheatland game yet, so I can tell you.
Disappointing, Reed.
Yeah.
You're part of a sports podcast and you haven't watched any football. Local football.
Yeah, I know.
You never know. You could see one of these guys in the CFL next year.
Yeah,
Well, probably
maybe.
not next year, but maybe in a few years.
Perhaps.
NFL, big dreams, Reed. You got to dream big.
What's the furthest anyone from the Wheatlands ever made?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I don't know.
Probably university football.
Yeah, I mean, Chuba, he didn't never play, or Chuba, never played in the Wheatland. Edmonton boy, obviously, right?
Probably
geez.
university.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the extent of it.
Wasn't there a kid what's that kid's name who went to UBC?
Tommy Yanchuk.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of.
Used to be a quarterback for the Raiders.
Is he still at UBC?
As far as I know, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot tougher up here. Well, I'm not going to say it's tougher up here, but there's a lot of politics that go into that too, right? I mean, you're typically not starting unless you're an absolute stud until like your fourth year, you know. You'd be lucky to even play. So, yeah, it's a tough grind because how many guys want to go for 3 years and get the shit beat out of them at practice for 3 years and you never get to play, right? It's rough.
Very true.
So I wouldn't want to do it. No thanks. But such is life. So yeah, this is the last week of the regular season. Raiders still hanging on to that number 1 ranking in Tier 3 for the province of Alberta. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, playoffs start the following week. So it's going to get exciting. Maybe you got to go to a playoff game.
Perhaps.
Well, I don't see why you wouldn't. Are you that busy?
Nothing else to do, I guess. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Show up.
If it's at the Comp, I'll entertain the thought.
You won't go to Holy?
No.
You're so brutal. Okay, Reed, enough's enough. Thanks for coming back from your holiday. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks again.
We're coming at you. What do we got happening before now on Thursday? We got the Thursday nighter. We got a couple baseball games. So
we got Game 5 of the NLDS. We got the Thursday nighter.
Yeah.
Hockey's getting into full swing here. Probably going to bring in maybe a hockey guy on as the NHL season progresses.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. I know there's a lot of guys that love their hockey and they love to talk hockey, so maybe we'll bring one of them on once in a while.
Okay.
See how it goes. Stay tuned. You never know what you're going to see here. That being said, again, thanks everybody for making us a part of your day. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. And of course, you can always catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Audible, Amazon, Facebook, whatever. We're everywhere, Reed. We're everywhere. So on that note, enjoy your evening, and we're out.